Welcome everybody. How's it
Hello.
going? um,
Uh, what happened to Jen?
maybe one day.
You just blanked out completely.
Yeah, I went to or we're on live. Okay, good. I went to like embiggen the screen and then
Okay.
press the wrong button.
I was like, what happened? You blanked out. Where are we? Okay.
So this is the dog that I'm watching. She's adorable.
Aw,
And
she's very sweet.
yes. Yes, she is. Okay, calm down. So Robin, we were just discussing how you were, like what you've been up to today. Obviously, it's
It's St. Patrick's Day, and I am dressed
why
like a
not?
leprechaun.
It might be like gay St. Patrick's Day because we've got the rainbow.
We've got the rainbow suspenders and the rainbow scarf. I did a live in my Fierce Happy Women group this morning, and one of my friends was like, "You look like a leprechaun," and I was like, "That's exactly what I thought when I got dressed this morning."
What I was going for.
Oh, good, I succeeded.
Yes, you did.
So to answer your question, I actually am a little magical today. Like I actually believe that this leprechaun outfit did something because I've had some sessions that were nothing short of magical this morning.
That's
Like
amazing.
really, truly amazing sessions. It's been really cool. Really cool.
What's been magic?
Well, I did this healing I did this morning. I did my regression healing. That is what is my specialty. And the woman I did it with, I got to really experience what it was like when she was in the soul plane, choosing her contracts in this lifetime. So when I brought that energy back through, like I said things that weren't mine. They came through me, and it was like I watched her relax. I watched her soften. I watched her like allow, that who she's always been was who she's always been. And we had this conversation about, like, I said, your job is to just hold this energy. You've always had it. And it was just this magical moment of watching her like soften and like, oh, I thought I was doing something wrong. And I was like, no, this is exactly who you're supposed to be. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful.
That is so beautiful.
And I had this moment afterwards where I was in my kitchen and I just was overwhelmed with gratitude and like I just was like, thank you for this work. Like, thank you for allowing me so many opportunities to clear so that I could get to this moment of being so clear that I could channel divine words for her. I was overwhelmed with gratitude.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
it was
beautiful.
super awesome, actually.
It's so cool. Overwhelmed with gratitude is a good feeling.
Agreed.
Oh man, that's awesome. So yeah, we were just discussing a little bit about what we wanted to talk about today, and one of the things was gratitude. And also a little bit about the wedding that happened.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the wedding, because I actually haven't gotten to like really debrief with you around it. So
Right.
what was your experience? How did it feel? What was your like highs? Like
It was awesome. I mean, like amazing, fantastic. I had like some of the coolest people. Like, it's so funny because, so especially if you haven't seen a friend for a while and you're like, you hang out with them again, you're like, oh, that's right, that you really are very cool.
I really do like you.
I really like you.
You like me. You really like me.
Right? So I had a couple of those friends, like Brian and Daria, and like I haven't seen in a while, and it's just like, oh my God, they're the best.
Yeah, they're cool people. I really enjoyed spending time with them.
Cool. Good. I'm glad. Everybody had a really fun time together, I felt.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, I felt it was beautiful, and there was a part of me that couldn't really let everything in, because part of me still felt kind of silly.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I can't cry in public about how much I love myself. I can't do that.
Why not?
I did not feel it was right. And I know that that's my own thing.
Yep, absolutely.
But like, it just seems really silly to me to be like, I love myself so much. Like, that's ridiculous.
Okay. All right.
It seems that way. It feels that way. It feels, I was judging. As much as I'm pledging to not judge myself, I'm aware that I was judging myself in the moment. But when I would look up at my friends who were like just kind of standing in a semicircle kind of thing, as you know, you were doing the officiating and I was doing my vows and we had the readings, everybody had like huge grins on their face, you know, and everybody was so loving and so supportive. It was really amazing. Sorry, the dog's like wants to get back up on that. Okay. It was really, really, when I looked up at my friends is when I could be like, no, this is awesome. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Yeah, so that was really, really important to me. And then what are you doing? Yeah, there's a reason I don't have a dog. They're so cute. It's so small. Like,
Right. They're in, they're out. Yeah.
like your paws step and pee all the time. I don't want them on me.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I got the ring.
Yes.
Right. And now every time I look at it, I'm like, oh no, I gotta take care of myself. Like one of the things that since then that I have found is like the other day, I think I talked to you about this. Oh, I really hope that you don't poo in my room. Sorry. I got very distracted by that. The dog. Okay, sorry. The dog is making lots of noise and I'm getting very distracted by it. Yeah, the other day I messed something up. I thought I was.
Can we maybe rephrase the word?
The other day I mistakenly thought that my appointment with a client was at 11, but it was at 10.
Okay.
So at 10 I got a message, 10:10 I got a message. No, 10:10 I got a message from him being like, oh, I guess we gotta reschedule. And I'm like, oh. And he's like a very like our newest client and he's pretty important. I mean, all clients are important, but this guy's like, and stop yelling. And I got very upset. I was upset about it, not very upset, but I was upset. What are you? No.
Does he need to go out?
She might. I don't know, but she's got a pee pad over here. And like we were fine a second ago. It's really when I start talking. Like I did a live and she started talking at me when I was doing the live. But then when I'm just sitting here typing, she's totally quiet.
Got it.
Love it.
So listen, here's what I know about dogs. The more attention and energy you give them, the more attention and energy they demand.
Yeah.
So if you stop engaging.
Yeah, I just don't want her to scrape up this chair. She's putting her paws up like on that, so I'm just gonna put my arm down here. Pay no attention to her, but put my arm down here so she doesn't scrape on the chair. All right. So I was upset about it, but then at the same time I was like, this is an opportunity, this is a place where I would normally start beating myself up about something like this, and I'm not gonna do that. So that felt weird.
Great.
Yeah, so that felt really weird. So sorry, I just cannot. She's not gonna scratch this freaking chair. You're not gonna scratch this chair. So yeah, so I didn't beat myself up, but it felt really weird. Because I still felt bad about it, but
so let me ask you this. If the situation were reversed and someone mistakenly thought the appointment was at 11, not 10, how would you react? My reaction is different from how other people are gonna react. Like I'd be okay. I mean, like it's kind of sleepless. So this guy's super busy. I'm just saying I don't want to whatever the point is. I don't really care. The point is that I was upset, but then I decided not to be upset, and it felt weird not being upset. Well, right, because it's not something that you're used to.
Yeah. I felt like I was supposed to be feeling bad because, like, well, if I feel like if I'm not punishing myself, basically, like, then that means that I don't think it's a big deal, and I'm just like, whatever, it doesn't matter about my clients, and I'm being lackadaisical and non caring about what I'm actually doing. Like if I don't beat myself up.
Do you hear that, Jen?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. All right.
But
right?
It is. Oh yeah, no, but it is. It's what's there. You know what I mean? It's like I'm so used to, for some reason, thinking that beating myself up about something is the right thing to do.
Right. And
You know
so,
what I
so,
mean?
so you're learning that that's not actually helpful. In fact, it's detrimental. It creates more of the problem.
Yes, it does. Yes.
So good
But
job. That's fantastic.
yeah, no, I'm really happy about that. But then it was like the rest of the day I found a little difficult, because not difficult in the sense of like feeling bad, but just like there was a get off the chair. So sorry, I definitely felt it. Yeah, Amy's coming back soon and she's gonna take care of the dog. But so yeah, so feeling that way was like I wanted to allow myself to be okay. And there was part of me that was inside that was okay.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, let's just be okay. But then there was like this outer shell of like, you're not supposed to be okay. You just did something wrong. You know?
Okay.
So it's like a weird balance. It was a weird balance.
Got it. Great.
So
It's
that
all
was
good.
really cool.
It's all
Hearing
good
the flowers.
awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. They were beautiful.
Yes, and I had a flower crown too. It was wonderful. You got a boutonniere. It was
I
very
did.
fun.
I did. I still have it on my counter.
Aw. So yeah, so that was really cool. It was really, really cool. And then getting to hang out and celebrate with my friends. Got lots of presents. I was not expecting that. It was cool. I was like, oh.
Nice. Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, no, it was really a cool thing to be a part of. And I was really like honored. Like I meant what I said when I said it really gives me great pleasure to sort of initiate you into this next layer of self-mastery, because it was really a beautiful ceremony.
It did go very well. It did. So yeah, so that's how you feel about it. How do you feel about it?
I loved seeing, like you said, that sort of whole arc of people standing around you, really loving and supporting you. And at one point I noticed you were sort of off to the side, and I was like, no, 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 you get to be in the center of things, right? This is about you. And right? So,
Yeah, that was a
um,
little uncomfortable for a half a second, but
right.
good. It was, I mean, it was right. It was the right thing. Like I should be in the front there, right? Like
Well, it's about you. This is
yeah.
your day, right? I really loved what you wrote about promising to honor yourself and forgive yourself and be gentle with yourself, and all of those pieces that's how we grow into master. Like every time we beat ourselves up, it's like it's basically saying to God that they're wrong,
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
which is ridiculous, right? And so we are divine beings. We are divine beings in a body, and our job is to love ourselves the way the divine loves us.
Well, we are
Period.
divine. Yeah, we are
Exactly.
divine. So we should, yeah, yeah. I mean, when you really think about it, not loving yourself is ridiculous.
Exactly.
You know, 'cause
Exactly.
we are what we are. We are the universe made aware of itself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like that's
Exactly.
fucking cool.
Right?
Who are you not to love that? Like, what are you? Like,
Exactly.
you think that you
Exactly.
can just not love that? That's pretty awesome.
Nah, I'm all set. Thanks.
Right?
I'd rather play small.
Right? Guys,
No,
no,
thanks.
whatever. Quantum realms, it's fine. I don't
It's
really,
all
it's
good.
not magic. It's not magical at all.
No, not at all. So anyway, so it was really a lovely ceremony, and I really enjoyed getting to be a part of it. It was really such a beautiful thing. And I really was. You said one of the things you said to me was that you were surprised at how people took it seriously. And I was like, that's because people take you seriously. Like I really wanted you to understand that we were there because we honor you and how wonderful we think you are and how you deserve to be celebrated.
That's really nice.
Let it in.
Okay.
Let it in.
Okay. Yeah, it's like it's still hard to think. Yeah, it's everybody was there to support me.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
You know, it's like what these people came out because they wanted to support. Like it's just to me, it's like it wasn't just like we're going to a show or we're going to go out for dinner. It's like these people are here because they love me.
Exactly.
You know, and
And
it's
they
like
want to
wow.
celebrate this commitment that you're making to yourself. It was really beautiful. It really was. I was really, like I said, I was really grateful to be a part of it.
Me too. I'm really happy about it. I think it went really well. It went really well.
Nice.
Um, Yeah, so I forgot to sign the contract.
So yeah, that's why I asked you where you're going to be, so I can
Yeah.
figure out
Oh
when
yeah.
I can get, because who knows how, if I can get there before the
Before
31st.
we
I'll
move,
figure.
yeah. Well, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, my contract is everybody. I know you can't really see it. There we go. See, it's longish, not longish, but it covers everything it needs to cover, right? And we got
Yeah.
the pages right there. Cool. All right. Anyway, yeah, and my vows, I was concerned about, I was putting pressure on myself because I'm a writer. Because when you write, when it's like, okay, now we've got to write something for us that's like our deep, meaningful moments, and then, what I mean, it's just like shit. Like I'm not gonna there's so much pressure. If I were a writer, this wouldn't be a problem.
Can you also recognize that that is also like a bit of a self-abandonment?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think the pressure I put on myself is obviously
Absolutely.
like that's clearly me.
Yeah.
My judgment about what I should or shouldn't be able to do and how I should or shouldn't show up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I'm aware.
And that's true. That's true for the client yesterday. That's true for your vows. That's true for if that's all true. So it's always just it's about micro adjustments all day long.
Yes. It's exciting. It's really exciting to oh, I committed to loving myself. So if something comes up where I don't love myself, I gotta let that go. Like I have to let it go.
Right.
Because I have committed myself in front of 13 people.
Well, and that's the random dude with the camera.
Dude, fine, but offer to give us the photos, man. Like if you there was someone, we were outside and we were in a gazebo and it was really, really beautiful. It was up some stairs, it was on the pond. And this random guy came in and started taking photos and I didn't notice him at all because I was completely I only noticed him at the end with a sing-along. We had a sing-along. People loved that.
It was absolutely epic.
Yeah, it was, right?
Yeah, it was totally good.
But some guy, I noticed him when we started singing. I noticed him crawling around on things and smiling and taking pictures. And I was like, okay. But I just didn't have I was here and I didn't want to deal with it. Right. You know what I mean? I wanted to be in the moment. But then you would have expected him to be like, hey, I took some photos. Would you like them?
Right, or something. Right?
I'm just like, hey, my name's Bob. You know what I mean?
I didn't. He was so in there that I didn't realize he wasn't part of your party, right? I just because I didn't know everybody, right? So I just assumed he was part of whoever. He showed up with the kids, and I was like, oh, he must be part of the party. Yeah. He was so in it.
He was in it.
It was so epic. It was pretty awesome, actually.
I know, it's just damn it, dude, but I really want the photos.
So to the dude who was out there on JP on Saturday.
Right, on the pond, taking pictures of people. One of them had a flower crown on. That was me.
We want the pictures.
Yeah, we want the pictures. That'd be awesome though to have pictures of all of us kind of singing, because that's where he was that's when I noticed him taking pictures. I was we're all singing. Yeah. It was great. It was great. That was really fun.
Yeah, it really was. It was really good time. Good.
So I am grateful for that.
Yes.
Gratitude.
And that we did talk a little bit about, we were going to maybe talk about gratitude. And I had this moment this morning when I was in my kitchen in tears in gratitude of just thanks to the gods that I get to do this work. And please just keep sending me people to heal, to help, to talk to share my message or share your message. Please just keep sending me people. Right. I just was so grateful. It came up like a wellspring. It came up like this.
Beautiful.
Which I find that's how gratitude works for me anyway. It comes up and it blossoms like this mushroom. Yeah. No, I feel when you feel grateful, it does. It comes up and it just, if you allow it, it will take over. Mm-hmm. At least here. And it's just I've the feeling of being overwhelmed by gratitude to the point of tears is such a great feeling. Yes. I'm very grateful for gratitude. Well, and I think that energy, that feeling, gratitude and joy are the vibrations of the universe, right? That's the vibration of the universe. Those are the highest vibrations. Gratitude, love, and joy. Those are the highest vibrations in the universe. And so when we can allow that, when we can experience that, when we can allow ourselves to just be flooded like that, we're inviting more of that in, right?
Yes.
That's how the universe works, how energy works, right? Like attracts like, energy vibrates with energy. So like if we allow that feeling in of grateful, of just like that moment of truly knowing I'm part of some divine plan and I'm so grateful to be a part of it, that moment is what then sends a giant signal out into the universe that I want more of this.
Yes.
That's how then you can fill, but then you can fill your coffers, and you can there's a potential for abundance, there's a potential for expansion, there's a potential for like manifest the glory of God, because that is the manifest of that is the glory of God right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if someone, I remember when I was deeper, darker in my depression, gratitude was very difficult for me. Like I couldn't get myself there. I was like, it was, like I listened to Tony Robbins, and he's like, there's always something to be grateful for. And I'm like, I don't care that there's air. I have to breathe because there's air.
I used to, when I was in my darkest dark night, sometimes I would be grateful I didn't have a dog to bite me on the ass. Like I searched for whatever I could to be, I'm so fucking thankful I don't have a dog. Right?
Yeah. Like I don't think I wanted to be grateful.
No, I
You
think,
know?
yeah, I think there's a level of, we want to cling to that resentment or betrayal or victimhood, right? And it's not even conscious. It's
Yeah, no,
a
I agree.
totally unconscious thing.
So how do we I don't know if she's farting or what, but I don't like the smell that's in here.
I get it.
But yeah, so if someone, I mean, yeah, they have to be willing to be grateful, right? Like you can't just help, you can't say, oh, you can be grateful.
I think it's one of those things that if you pay lip service to, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, does it work or not? I'm not actually sure. But I do think that when you focus on, let's say, what's going right, even if it's something as simple as, I'm glad I have a bed to come home to tonight, that is what creates more of it. So that does create those like micro openings that I talk about all the time, those 1% shifts. Those 1 degree things, because so if you're like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, that's where we are. But if you can just in one moment say, well, what's going right? I woke up on the right side of the grass today. Maybe that's not what you want, right? or one time I was working with this woman, and she defined herself as sad. She said, "Your joy, I'm sadness," from the movie Inside Out. And I was like, okay, that makes total sense, actually.
Great movie.
Right? It's a great movie. Oh my God, such a good movie. We could do a whole series on that, just that one movie.
I agree. Maybe we should.
All right. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do Soul too. We got to do
Yeah, I just watched Soul last night again.
Oh, such a good movie.
Oh, it's such a good movie. Such a good movie.
Yes. You want to talk about how the soul plane? That's exactly how the soul plane really fucking works. I was like, they fucking got it right. I was like, she's like, oh, it's all gonna sort itself out. It's totally fine. Like, I just
yeah.
Oh my God,
Oh, it's so good. We could do movie series.
Like, totally in. Awesome. But so anyway, at one point I said, just Marnie, what's going right? And she was like, well, the sun came out today and it had rained for like days and days. I was like, fantastic, that's perfect. She's like, but I like when it rains. And I was like, great, be grateful for the rain then, right? Like whatever it is, you find something that like something that's going right, because there is. I know Tony Robbins says this, and whatever, you have your opinions about Tony Robbins, but like there is always something that's going right. And because when you focus on what's not going right, that's what you're creating. That's what you're getting more and more and more and more of. So if you don't want that, then the alternative, even if we're wrong, you're still no worse off than you are now when everything sucks.
it's yes, yes. It's funny because like, okay, so we can say that when you are at a vibrating at a certain level, that anything that's at that level, you attract the same vibration,
Absolutely.
right? So,
Absolutely.
which is an interesting thought. And also like it's, up until recently, it might have been something that I was like, oh yeah, no, that's totally, absolutely, absolutely. But then I had no clue really what that meant. And like, I'm just like, that's cool, like, but not really. Like, I don't know what you're talking. Like, it's not even that I don't want to know what you're talking. I get the idea, but like, you're crazy. um, so I was talking to Amy, my housemate, last night, and she's getting into a lot of her own self development.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like what you're discussing the sort of the regression that you do, and how like I had really benefited from it, but she was having difficulty because of that sort of cynical mind being like, like, and it's just, it is, the truth is like, the woo-woo stuff is right. I know I keep saying this, but it's amazing like how you're like, and I was a woo-woo person. Like I was someone who was like, she's weird.
Well, listen, I'm
Was.
I'm on the far end of woo, even for the woo people. Like I am on the like even my woo friends are like, I'm a step beyond that.
Right.
Right.
Okay,
So
yes. But it's opening yourself up to that truth, you know what I mean, is depending on your background and your upbringing, it's a bit of a challenge.
it is really hard. I actually think having grown up with like some of the real strict religions, when you have in your head the image of this off-planet punishing dude with a beard,
And a robe.
right? It has a very, I mean, it's certainly the like our sort of pervasive understanding of what God is looks a lot like Zeus, right?
Oh, 100%. Oh
Right?
my God, like everything about the Catholic Church
Right. Oh, even the
or
Christian
the
faith,
Christian,
right? Right,
the
exactly.
Christian faith that just usurped everything from the pagans that lived around them.
Right. So, and I'm not disparaging religion. That's not what I'm
Not
saying
at
at all.
all. I think it's amazing. I love religion. It's so fascinating.
I do think though that when you grow up with that and you feel this like punishing God as your only experience with the divine,
Mm.
then it's really hard to let down your guard and trust and surrender and allow that there's also a feminine aspect, that there's also a supportive, wonderful, nurturing, amazing aspect. And I think that there isn't the punishing, the God on the off-duty plan to God with a is not punishing us, but it's really hard to escape that because it's so pervasive in the culture.
Yes, yes, yes. Like God is really, God does not, real God, as far as we know, doesn't punish. It's not a punished thing. There's karma.
Well, I don't know even if there's karma so much as there's like this law of there's always a law, there's always a balance, there's always a plus and a
Yeah,
minus, a check and a right? Like there's always a positive and not a positive and a negative, but there's always a balance,
there's
right?
every action has an equal
Equal
opposite
opposite reaction. That's
reaction.
right.
Right.
So that's how the universe works, and free will is tantamount is the supreme law, is free will. So God is actually very impersonal. Humans have made it a personal thing
Yeah.
because we need to.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, because it's interesting. God is very impersonal. Like, there's
Right.
nothing about you that, like, but at the same time, you can enjoy a personal relationship.
Absolutely.
So I think people have a hard time understanding that you can have both.
Right. And I think that's where that sort of dissonance comes in, that cognitive dissonance of like, this doesn't compute,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I want desperately to believe but I just don't know how to I don't know how to suspend judgment enough to do it.
Right. So my suspend my disbelief. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's why that's where the work comes in. That's why surrender is so hard. And that's why it's so painful, because it does. And that's when we go through our initiation of Dark Night. We are going through that time of feeling the most alone we've ever felt in our entire lives. Expressly because it's an invitation for us to understand them when everything gets taken away and we're the only thing left, that we are everything.
It's really, there's such a dichotomy of understanding.
Yes.
And like you're saying, like, especially as people who've grown up in a certain, whatever the faith may be, whether if it's a strict-ish faith, like if it's a,
I mean, it doesn't matter. Catholicism, Christianity, Judaism, all of it, all of them have this aspect of like patriarchal, punishing, male dominated energy.
Yeah.
Because they exiled the female. They exiled the Shekinah. And that, I mean, that happened 5,000 years ago, right? That happens.
Yeah. Yeah. When they decided one God.
Right.
And he's a war god. Cool.
Right.
Yahweh's a war god, but cool. But yeah, it is, but yeah, it's just the manipulation of, it's hard for people who have grown up or even who have been born again to consider the idea that they're wrong.
That, not even that they're wrong, but there's another option.
There are different ways of looking at things, and that maybe, sorry, Amy's home.
And I think that's where that's where the gratitude comes in as well, because it allows you to suspend that disbelief for a minute, right? It allows you to look at another perspective. It is that opening. It's an opening that can possibly allow in the divine or a miracle or assistance or anything. They can't help you if you won't let them.
Yeah, you have to be open for it.
That's free will is tantamount. Free will is tantamount in the universe, right? So if you won't let them in, they can't help you no matter how much they want to.
Right, because you're not, it's free. I'm just gonna try and open this door and see if she'll go to Amy. Excuse me, I got Amy, can you take her? No, but there's a thing. I'm on, sorry, I'm doing a thing. No.
Yeah, you got stolen then.
Okay. All right. The dog pooed on the floor. I saw that.
I told you she had to go out.
But we had started.
I know. It's always.
I have a really strong gag reflex.
Okay, we can be done. It's almost 3 o'clock.
Okay, I gotta.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Love you guys.
Good luck. We'll see you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye.
Bye.